Hey everybody, hope you guys are having a good week so far. Just going to do a little review from solving radical equations from before break, and then we're going to go on to a new topic today that we'll probably work on for a little bit. So follow along with me. All right, remember when we had this, in order to get rid of the radical sign or the square root sign, we would square both sides, right? And when we did that, we got this. And then we would just solve for that variable, right? By moving the 2x over, doing our inverse operations. Add 3. And we found that our answer was 11. Okay? And then you guys also, yesterday you did a little bit of a review on factoring, which is something we worked on back in chapter 9. But we had to do a little bit of factoring review so we can work on what we're going to be doing today. Okay? So sometimes you're going to be given expressions, and those expressions are going to look like this. Or equations, I should say. Okay, it's going to look like that. Now again, in order to solve this, we have to get rid of this sign. So the same rule would apply, where we have to square both sides. Okay. And now at this point, once you do that, you have this. Now I'm hoping that you guys remember that when we have something that's squared, right, we need to get all these terms on one side, and then we should be able to factor. Remember we do A times C, that adds up to B. So let's move all these things over to one side by doing those inverse operations. Okay. Now we're at this point where we can factor. All right, so we're looking for the factors of negative 15 that add up to 2. Or sorry, add up to negative 2. So I got negative 5 and 3. Okay, and we're still solving. We're looking for the value of x. So we're going to set both of these equal to 0. And we're going to solve. Right, and we add 5. Sorry. We get x equals 5, and we subtract 3, and we get x equals negative 3. All right, but this stuff we're working on now is called extraneous solutions. All right, and I kind of put extra in all caps over here and underlined it because we're really looking for, there's only going to be one answer. We're going to have an extra solution in these cases, or a solution that doesn't make this a true statement. Because remember, anytime you solve an equation, you're always looking for what value of the variable can you plug in and get a true statement. Okay, so if we go back to the original, right, before we did the squaring, our original equation was this. Okay? All right, so what do you guys remember about square roots? Right? What type of number are we never, or here, if we plug this in, watch. All right, first of all, let's do 5. 5 equals 2 times 5 plus 15. 5 equals 10 plus 15. 5 equals the square root of 25. Sorry, it should be the square root of 10 plus. And 5 equals 5. That works out, so we know that this one's a good answer, so we'll circle that. Now we need to check and see if negative 3 is a good answer. So we'll plug negative 3 in and see what we get. Negative 3 equals okay. And what's the square root of 9? Well, it's not negative 3. The square root of 9 is 3. So in this case, our only possible answer for this expression with the way it was given would have been x equals 5. So x equals negative 3 would be our extraneous solution. So we're not going to use it in this case. All right? Okay. Let's go ahead and do a couple more of these together. Remember, we're looking for the value that we can't solve for, okay? All right, let's see here. All right, so if we get x equals square root of 20 minus x. Remember, we want to get x by itself again. This isn't a number, so the first thing we need to do is we're going to square both sides. Okay? And we get x squared plus x minus 20 equals 0 when we rewrite it right in the quadratic or standard form. Factors of negative 20 that add up to 1. Positive 5 and negative 4. So x plus 5 equals 0, x minus 4 equals 0. Subtract 5. Add 4. So our two possible solutions right now are negative 5 and 4. And we want to see if either of those are extraneous solutions, meaning solutions we can't get. All right, so let's go back to the beginning and we'll check. I'm going to try negative 5 first. So 20 minus negative 5. Remember, you got to put it in there like that. And the square root of 25 is 5, so this doesn't work. So we know that one doesn't work, okay? Let's try this. All right, and the square root of 16 is 4. That does work. So in this case, 4 is our solution. X equals negative 5 would be our extraneous solution if we were asked that. But when you guys are doing these, you're only going to give me the actual one solution. So what would our solution be? In this case, the solution would have been 4. All right, let's go ahead and do one more. So really, guys, this isn't much different than what we've done before. You've got the one step where you have to get rid of the radical sign in the beginning. But then after that, we're just getting to the point where you guys are factoring. And in case you haven't noticed yet, both times we've taken only the positive answer. So if you get an x equals a positive number, that's going to be your answer. First step, square both sides. All right, we're going to rewrite everything. X squared minus 6x minus 7 equals 0. So the factors of negative 7 that add up to 6, add up to negative 6. Okay? And x minus 7 equals 0, x plus 1 equals 0. Solve for our extraneous solutions, so we get x equals 7 here. Okay? And then subtract 1, x equals negative 1. Okay? So which one's going to be our answer? 7 will be. This is an extraneous solution because we can't, no matter what we plug in here, it won't equal negative 1. Okay, because we're going to take the square root and we're always going to get a positive number out of that, okay? In this case. All right, if you guys have any questions when you're working on these few examples today, please send me a message so we can talk about them or work through them, all right? First thing you've got to do is square both sides, get rid of the radical sign. Rewrite it in standard or quadratic form so you guys can factor it. Set your two factors equal to 0, like we did before, and solve for x. Okay? And then you're looking for the positive answer. Okay, again, if you guys have questions, please email me or we can set up a meeting online. All right, keep working hard.